Alright guys, it is the solar eclipse day today. So, we were talking a little bit about what we did for that, and Manny was telling me his dog was acting a little bit weird today.
Mm-hmm.
What was happening there?
He was just really sleepy all day, didn't want to eat, he didn't want to do anything. He just stayed in the same spot the entire time, so I don't know if it was related to that or what, but yeah.
Yeah, it's gotten us all acting crazy, I guess. Yeah, people were coming outside of work with the glasses and shit, and we were like on the clock, and there were customers, and then they were all like putting the glasses on.
Did anyone in the store walk out to go look outside?
No, but a lot of customers walked past and were looking at them like they were crazy for some reason. I'm like, I feel like people, like, not everyone. It's funny because I don't think everyone knew like what it was that it was even today.
Yeah.
Cause with the way that people were acting, because it was like happening and people weren't even like saying anything about it, which was crazy.
It is funny, like people like used to make a big deal of it, and I was just like, eh. Like I wonder like what's really gonna get everyone to like get together on Earth. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, you're either excited or you don't care.
Well, you know what? What's gonna get people to get together on Earth is this podcast. Yeah, called
like
Karma and Tranquility. Welcome to Karma and Tranquility, everybody. Let's get into it. Yeah. Decided to have the most obnoxious snacks on a podcast, like a pretzel and Oreo, that when he chews on them like a fucking alligator, it's gonna be like.
I'm not gonna do that to y'all because I could picture people wearing headphones, just like, oh, we're not that kind of podcast.
Exactly. You forgot the milk. He also has
he's a fucking cup of milk that's on a tilted table right now that could fall and ruin this whole setup at any time.
Alright, hold it.
Yeah. Oh, guys, it feels like it's been forever, but it hasn't been.
Yeah, it hasn't been that long.
Yeah. So the last time we recorded, guys, we had to record up in another room that just was not... It was good, it was fine, but, like, the whole thing had me stressed out, and when I'm stressed out, I don't really, like, have a great time. I still had a great time because I was with these guys talking about bands that we love, but I still felt, like, unfulfilled, which sucks, because the song that we did, well, both of them are, like, two of my favorite songs that they did, and it wouldn't be an episode with a Brendan feature, so he's up at the door, so I'm gonna go let him out now, and we'll cue the beep/cow noise that Will wants me to put in. I feel like now the dog knows when we're, like, starting, because now he doesn't do it, like, in the middle, he always does it at the beginning. I swear that's, like, the 9th time I've had to edit a dog commercial into these podcasts. Anyway, guys, yeah, so we're back at it. To me, it feels like it's been a while, but I guess it hasn't. Guys, we're, like... This is episode 6, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Episode 6.
We're 6 episodes deep into this thing. Well, technically 12 episodes deep into this thing if you count the bonus episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I think we got a pretty strong what's the word I'm looking for? Like script down, not script. Format. We got a pretty good format down. I think now. I typed that all up and sent it to these guys, and I think with the help from the community and all the feedback and stuff, we've been able to keep a pretty organized, tight ship here that gives you guys all the entertainment and info that you need on this stuff. So again, like, we don't want to be too on script because that's boring, but we'll definitely won't forget to do the fan comments and the, instrumental choices, all that kind of stuff. But today, guys, we are covering Alone Together and Still Take You Home. This time I think we're going to start with the Arctic Monkeys because we had Someday last week, which was a big Strokes Day. And this week we're going to start with the Arctic Monkeys. So we're going to start with the Arctic Monkeys, Still Take You Home from their debut album, track 6. Do any of you guys have any thoughts on this one before we cue the listen? Anything you wanted to chat about on it?
I mean, I won't say too much. I don't want to ruin, like, my thoughts on it just yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll save it, but if you guys have anything you want to add, yeah, go on.
I was supposed to say I was actually studying the wrong song today, so I have no clue what the song's going to sound like again, but it's going to be nice. That'd be a little refresher.
This is another song I don't really remember.
That's crazy. This is one that I could like recite to you.
Nice.
So I think when I hear it, like,
Easily.
I'll know. I mean,
Okay.
every single song on this album was that for me, because like I told you guys, like I don't listen, like I don't. This is
Yeah.
my least listened to ones. Like when I hear them, I'm like, okay, I know it, but like I don't know it.
Okay.
So I can't tell you right now what it is until I hear like the first thing. But let's just dive right into this here. This is "Still Take You Home" by the Arctic Monkeys on their debut album, track 6. Let's go. Okay, guys, that was "Still Take You Home" by the Arctic Monkeys, track number 6 from their debut album. Whatever people say that I am, that's what I'm not. That was a fun song. I think we're going to be doing the stats for the song before the listen from now on, but let's do that now. So that came out on their debut album, 2006. We looked at a couple facts about the song because a lot of people gave us some good tips in terms of what to look at for stats and, you know, what you guys kind of want to hear about it, about the songs. And this song has got 55.9 million listens. So if you want to kind of, on Spotify, if you want to kind of compare those to some of the top songs that they've ever streamed, we're talking a lot of songs from AM, of course. That's where a lot of those guys come from. But we got songs like "I Want to Be Yours" with about 2 billion streams. Just a small 2 billion streams there.
Just casual.
Yeah, just a casual 2 billion just rolling in there. We got 505 here with a whopping 1.5 billion. And the highest on the list, which looks like this is the case, is "Do I Want to Know" with 2.1 billion. So "Still Take You Home," still a strong 500 million streams on there. So, hey, thank you for who recommended us go over that. That's a really cool stat. I'm actually really excited to kind of see where they all fall. This is a song that is in a G major in terms of a key. 2 minutes, 54 second duration. If anyone cares about this, the tempo is 109 beats per minute. I don't know if anyone cares about that, but the key is pretty cool to kind of know. But it came out in 2006, like I said, track 6 on their debut album, and we are going to get into what we think. Oh, it was ranked number 85 on the NME top Arctic Monkeys songs. Number 85. What?
When it came out, like 2006?
Came out 2006, yeah. It was number 85 on the NME Best Arctic Monkeys songs. Now, again, guys, the Arctic Monkeys list does not include the car, so it's kind of like weird, but it's the only list I could find that was like reliable, and we'll deal with the car later. But it's 85 on the Arctic Monkeys top list here. Anyway, those are some facts, some fun facts about the song. Let's get into what we thought about it. I guess I'll go first. This is just another song for me where like it was really fun to listen to. I really liked. I feel like every instrument on this song kind of had its own job in a way. I heard everyone in the band on this song, where sometimes you can drown them out, but on this song I heard all of them, and I know these lyrics were strong because like I related to a couple of them, which I'll talk to in a little bit. So I think a pretty well-rounded song. Like if you're looking for another song to kind of bang your head to, this would be another one. I feel like every song this album is just meant to be played live, personally. Like they're all just phenomenal, like get up and move songs. I know they have their fair share of slow songs, but this one's just, you know, one of those high-powered ones. What do you guys think?
I agree, like, especially when the party said, like, it's meant to play live, and how Manny brings up, because I was listening in the past episodes, like, imagining this playing in, like, a pub or some kind of bar, and, like, say, like, it's packed and, like, everyone, the energy is really high. I can imagine, like, people just, like, losing their mind over this. And, yeah, it's, like, it's not one of the best vocal ones, but the instruments shine in this, so I can imagine just how much better it would sound even live, over just, like, a speaker or whatever you're listening on.
Yeah, I don't want to get ahead of myself on the instruments. I have a lot to say about that for this one, but Manny, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, if you think about like where they were at this time, with this being like their first actual album, it makes sense that it's that kind of vibe, just because, you're trying, like, think about it. They wanted, you know, this to be this was their debut album, right? So how do you make the biggest statement on the scene is like when you play live, right? So they needed stuff that was really like hard hitting, that was fun, that was different. And this falls in line with all the rest of the stuff that was in the album. So yeah, I think you guys kind of hit it spot on.
You have a personal connection with this album, with it, right? You were saying, 'cause, like,
This is my favorite overall album because it's
Okay.
like I remember, you know, hearing one or two of like the songs on this album, and then I listened to the rest of it. So not to, you know, no spoiler alerts, but I love every song on this album. I don't have a single problem with a song.
Does this one have any personal, like, things for you that you can remember?
Nothing
Like,
personal, but it's always just been a fun song to listen
Yeah.
to. You know,
Yeah.
kind of like what you said. It's just a fun song.
yeah.
I like what Will said about like you don't. It's not like this song isn't really meant for his voice to necessarily shine. It still sounds obviously like Alex, but
It's the fast tempo type
the
stuff
fast
where he's
tempo.
screaming, he's belting a lot of stuff.
right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool like musical fusion going on in this one too, where it just like some of the breakdowns in between sound like a different genre. And
Yeah.
it's not the only song on this album that does that, obviously, but. Yeah, so nothing personal, but it's always been one of my favorite off of this album.
I don't think the first two albums really personally capture what his vocal abilities really are personally. Like, I think with the first two albums, it's a lot of like belting for him. Like, I'm not saying they're bad, like they're perfect for what they're trying to accomplish, but I don't think you get like a full sense of what he can do until like Humbug Time and above. Like, because I mean, obviously when you listen to him now, like his ability vocally can be like so many different things. Whereas I think the first two albums, you're getting like the heavy kind of punk rock like type style Alex
Right.
Turner. Whereas with Humbug and AM, you get its own, like, someone put it like perfectly, like it's like a Midwest type Alex Turner, and then the Car and Tranquility bass, you get just, I guess, quote unquote, the elevator music art, the Alex Turner, which I love, or the jazz. I know I forgot Suck It and See in there. I guess you could throw, but that one's kind of like a stripped back album to me, where they're kind of just doing their thing. So I think it's the first two albums. I don't think you really get the full scope of what he can do. But yeah, anyway, so instruments on this one in terms of what stood out. I again being I haven't talked about the bass enough, being a bass man, but for this one, there's a part in the middle, or like in the middle, where the bass is like following the guitar on the high string, and it sounds like it adds like a whole nother layer onto the riff. It's like in the middle of the song, and I heard it, and like he didn't do that in the first part of the song, but he did it in the second. And there's a lot of like songs where basses do that, where they like try to go up high on the bass to make it sound like the way the guitar is. And there's a couple parts where he did that. And watching the video of them playing this live, like he's like going ham on that bass guitar.
Yeah. For a while, I thought it was like another guitar, but I was like,
Yeah.
no, that has to be like the bass, because like the way like it's playing,
Yeah.
like, it sounds like a guitar, but I was like, and then I had to watch the video to confirm.
Yeah.
So I see what you mean.
Yeah, so the bass for me is what really my ears like kind of hooked into, which is cool about now that we're listening to this on a good speaker. I think each of us have kind of heard like a piece that we might not have listening to our little Bluetooth speakers or a car speaker. Like, there's things that we're hearing in these things, at least for me, things that I'm hearing that I didn't hear like the first time, and little things like that really stood out to me. It's like the bass is what really came in the most for me in this song. What do you think, Manny?
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm gonna say the guitars though, just because they have a lot of cool little like solo moments in there. So that's the part that I always think of. Like when I think of this song, that's the first part that I think of, is that funky little guitar riff. It kind of in the middle there. Mm-hmm. So that's what stands out to me the most. What about you, Will?
I'm gonna have to agree with Jared on this one. It's definitely the bass.
Yeah.
For me personally, like that's what I was saying. Like I thought it was a guitar, and I was like the way it's been playing, I thought it was like a high pitch, like, or he's like playing high notes on the bass. And then when I watched the video, I was like, oh crap, like it definitely is. And you like you said in the beginning, like it's a little softer played in the beginning, and then he kind of turns it up later on. So that's the part that sticks out to me. Usually I'm like a drum person, and even though in the beginning of the song it's like pretty heavy, like all the instruments Before Alex even starts singing, you have like the drums, you have the guitar, the bass going on, and it gets a little bit heavier.
Yeah.
But anytime I've listened to the song, it's definitely the bass that peaks out.
It's which is crazy when you think about it because it's such a loud song that you would think the drums would almost
Yeah.
like overpower all this stuff,
Yeah.
but they really managed to sync it up really well together to where like kind of how you said, Jared, like you hear a little bit of everybody in this. It's
Yeah.
like perfectly spaced out to where everybody gets a piece of this song and they kind of are able to show you at maximum what they're able to do.
Yeah.
At least for like this time period of Arctic Monkeys, you know.
Yeah, and the drums, I feel like it's a given for every song on this album. That's why I don't even, like, unless it's, like, something that really stands out for me for the drums, I'm, like, trying to, because, like, he's perfect on every single one of these tracks. Like, he just demolishes it in every single, like, track that he's in. I also, like, it's funny the way it starts. It starts with, like, just, like, it kind of like just they just put a mic in a room and people are talking and it sounded like they're just doing like a sound check and then they go into it.
Yeah.
I always wonder when bands do that, like if it was intentionally that way or if it was recorded that way and they just like keep it in or if it's like planned to be that way when they do those little things. So it's always funny when songs start like that and it just sounds like it's just another take of a song that just made it.
Well,
like
I think Arctic Monkeys does that on purpose because there's a couple videos I can think of for like official songs where they do that and it's included in the video. Like you see them like pretending to do the
okay.
sound check.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't. Maybe it's done on purpose. I'm not really sure, but that would be my guess.
A lot of the videos that they do are just a camera following them, either playing live or just doing the dumbest
Which I
shit.
love because at the time, like they didn't have what they have now. They had like, obviously they had a lot of hype, but they didn't have the money to just like spend on all this. You know, nothing against the Strokes or whatever, but like we know that Julian, you know, comes from money. There was I forget who else in the band also had. Oh, it was Albert.
Okay.
Right? I think it was Albert.
Yeah, because his dad was a good
Because they went to
player.
boarding school
Oh,
together.
yeah,
So like
yeah.
they, you know, so these are just like kids, you know, just scratching up, you know, just trying to make a name for themselves. So I love like early days Arctic Monkeys videos. They're so fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I can appreciate that. This is the Will's lyrics section.
Wait. One more thing I just wanted to throw in there before we move on. The one part of the guitars playing, it's like the little solo when it's like down, 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 down. That part, it sounds kind of like a broken record because it just keeps going and going. It's like down, down, down.
Yeah, that's a good point out. Yeah.
And usually when I'm in a really good mood, that's like one of my favorite parts of the song.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make my knuckles crack too hard in yours.
Listen, this is your own segment here. You throw in what you want. Because it's Will's lyrics section. Once again. Here we go.
But no, that's my thoughts on the music. Lyrics, one of my favorite lyrics from this song, honestly. And this is not one that isn't lyrically, like, amazing. It's more, like, musically, like, just a headbanger, like Jared said, and just really fun to dance to a bit. One that kind of not even spoke to me, just, like, popped out, was kind of funny, was "You're a fad and you're a fashion, and I'm having a job trying to talk to you." Kind of like with the meaning of the song, "Still Take You Home," it's Alex talking to, like, an ex or, like, a past lover, where he, like, ran into a party and was like, she didn't really recognize him, and he's like, "Oh crap, I know you, and like I still kind of like you." And he's calling her a fad or you're a fashion, like you're just like a temporary thing, like you're just kind of for show.
I always kind of took that line as like a poser.
Yeah,
You know, like there's people that like whatever the current fad is, like that's what they'll follow. They'll just change from fad to fad. Like that's
like
kind
you
of
have no originality.
Right, yeah.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah, like he calls her a top shop princess. So like that to me just kind of sounds like someone that like, all right, cool. What are the cool brands right now? I'll just shop there until another brand pops up, and you know you just go from brand to brand. That's how I always kind of saw it.
Hopping on trends.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Just like it's funny that he called her out on that.
Maybe a little something wrong with it. It's kind of
Yeah. Well, what's crazy is that this is the only song on an Arctic Monkeys album that features a writing credit for any other band member than Alex Turner, which
Who was
I
it?
just saw. They don't say, but I can probably definitely check that. But again, I don't know because I think when I looked at it on Spotify, the only person that comes up
Yeah.
is him. But
I was gonna say, I actually have that in my notes too. What's it called? On Spotify, it just says Alex Turner, but on everything else, Wikipedia shows that the rest of the band is mentioned writing lyrics, and then what's his name? Jamie Cook contributed to the lyrics.
okay,
So Alex and then the most was
cool.
Jamie, and then he gives credit to the other people too.
And that's cool too, because like kind of how we said earlier, like everybody gets a chance to shine
Mm-hmm.
in this song, and it makes sense if they all had a hand in like the lyrics and probably the actual musical sections that they were doing. So that makes me kind of like the song even more now.
Yeah.
Did you guys know? Because remember they had before they became big, they were like that Beneath the Boardwalk demo.
Yeah.
There's a demo version of the song with the lyrics. The first verse is very different. I don't know if you want to listen to that now or you can do it later, but that's like something
The
else to check
demo
out too.
version?
Yeah. A lot of those songs from their first album have demo versions, which are completely different lyrics. Like the sound is very similar, but the lyrics are different.
Yeah, we'll have to give that a listen. That's yeah. So in terms of lyrics, is that those are the ones that stood out to you?
Just that, yeah.
Okay.
This song kind of is like barely legal to me, where I don't really vibe with the lyrics. It's just like a fun song, fun
Yeah,
music.
because it's another song that is just about life in nightclubs for the most
Yeah.
part.
Which I don't really go out
It's
to
just a
nightclubs.
fun song. There wasn't, there are songs where you look in like deep. This is not one of those songs.
Yeah.
But it's still one of my
Still a
favorites.
vibe. Yeah.
It's a good vibe, yeah. It's solid.
What would you say is your favorite lyric from this one? If you had one, did you have one circled for it?
That was the one I said.
Oh, that is the one that you said? Okay, perfect. Well, for me, I had one written down. I'm trying to find it because I lost it in my digital notes here. But it was funny that here it is. It's funny when you said that you're probably all right, but under these lights you look beautiful. Like I thought that was pretty funny. Like you're probably all right, but under these lights you look great. And like I love I can't see through your fake tan. Like I love how like savage like Alex Turner is with these females and all these songs that he's like talking about. I just love his like approach.
Well, it's not even just like females either. It's like the scene itself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's really like
He's digging into it.
because like Fake Tales, he's coming at poser bands and stuff.
Yeah.
And like in this song, he's kind of coming at like people that follow those trends. So yeah. That's I love that about this album.
Cool. So for this one, we are on the fan comment section, guys. This song, just like many of the other ones, got a good bit of engagement as always from you guys. We appreciate it all the time. So for Still Take You Home, we got a good amount here. Separate Variety 694 said one of my faves. Really adore the Humbug versions. There are several of them. I didn't know that. Is that that can't be what you were talking about, right?
No, I didn't know Humbug had like. I don't wonder.
I didn't know either. So there's Humbug version. We're gonna have to take that a listen too.
I heard a demo version.
Yeah, the cartographer 954 said my second fave on the album after You Probably Couldn't See for the Lights. Love the opening on the studio version where they're talking and then the riff suddenly comes in. Yeah, that's kind of what I was mentioning too. Bella Lugosis Alive said the part where he says you're a top shot princess and a rock star too is so satisfying. Ben Faz said probably the best track on the first album. The Black Parade 87C said one of the most fun songs to sing to. And a lot of people saying one of their favorites. And Chai CHVTT7K said great song. I personally have a thing for songs that depict relatable yet not so good feelings. A song about not liking someone but still wanting to bang them fits perfectly. Love that. Magnificent says I love the energy on it. Not too keen on the lyrics though. So good comments on there, guys. Good thoughts in there. A lot of people love it. A lot of people are like, eh. There's a couple of people that are like, eh. But yeah, it seems like it's just one of those songs where, lyrically you're not getting the top Alex Turner, but musically you're getting the full band. Which, in my opinion, overall for this album, that's kind of the theme for me. It's like musically, it's phenomenal. I'll definitely be the first one to say that. Rankings, guys. Someone else has to go first before me because I need to think for a second.
I think Will should go first just because I'm really curious as to what
So-
Will thinks on this one.
Cause I did figure out like this is a song we're gonna be doing today. I was studying the wrong song, so I gave it a listen earlier. And I kind of forgot how it went till now. But it's not one of my favorites. It's a good song, but it's definitely not one of my favorites off the album. I was thinking about the ranking, so I'll give it a solid 3.6.
3.6?
Not backpedaling, not gonna give it any better. I don't feel like this song unless I heard it live, I don't think it can grow on me anymore. It's just, I kind of know what to expect when I hear it. And it's still a really fun song. Like, if I did hear it live, maybe it would grow on me. But I think I put it in the 3 range.
Okay.
It's not one I would put on.
Like
3.6.
3.6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like out of the songs, it's not one I would like look up or put on usually. But it's not a bad song for sure. Like there's nothing wrong with it.
Hey, what about you, Jared?
Me. I'm floating somewhere in the 3.6, 3.8 as well. And I kind of want to give it the 3.8 because I gave Dancing Shoes a 3.5, and I do think it's better than that one personally. I believe it sucks kind of like not being able to just listen and then re-listen again, but I'm teetering. My mind's telling me to go over the 3.6, 3.8. So I think I'm gonna move more towards the 3.8 again. I feel like that's my favorite ranking to give. I keep giving 3.8s because I just can't give a 4. But 3.8 is probably gonna be what I'm gonna give this one here for sure.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. I think I want to give this like a 4 point something, but it's just when you stack it up to some of the other ones, it really isn't as good. So I'm gonna say my official ranking for it would be a 3.9. Like it is pretty much right there on the cusp of a great song. And this is one that like if you were curious, like if you heard modern day Arctic Monkeys and you wanted to hear some of their older stuff, this would be like a top 5, top 6. If I just wanted you to get the gist of like early days, what they were really going for. But for me, I'm gonna have it at a 3.9.
3.9.
Yeah.
Cool. So we're all once again got 3.6, 3.8, 3.9.
Pretty close.
Yeah, really close. There's opinions there. All right, guys. Moving on to The Strokes. Alone Together, track 6 on their Is This It album. I'm pretty excited for this one. I really already know that I enjoy this one. This is one of the ones in the album that's like kind of like a hidden gem for me personally because I do think it's one of the most fun to sing along to. But before we get too into it, let's just give this bad boy a nice good old spanking listen. How's that sound?
Awesome.
Let's do it. All right, guys, that was Alone Together from the Strokes 2001 album Is This It? Track number 6. It has a whopping 35 million streams. When you compare some of the Strokes stuff, which we'll do here, if we are looking at their top song, which is The Adults Are Talking, that is a 419 million. So what's crazy is like their stream count is, I feel like, much. That's actually not their top song. The Reptilia is 500 million. I don't know how like Spotify does their listings in terms of popularity. Well, no, Last Night has more too. Damn it, like Spotify is like fucking me over here in terms of stats. But yeah, like I don't think they have, at least from what I can see here, I don't see one that even is cracking 1 billion, which is fucking crazy. But Alone Together, 305 million. I think I said there on this one. This guy is one of my favorite Strokes songs. I love this song. What are your guys' first impressions before I go?
Well, so I love the way that this song sounds. You know, it's one of those. It's just like a Stroke sounding song. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's like a little bit of like that distortion that they're kind of known for in like these earlier songs.
Yeah.
So that's like really what stands out for me. How about you, Will?
Same. I was like, it definitely like when you think about the Strokes, this is like one of the ones recently that I was like, oh crap, like this is actually a hidden gem. And it has like really strong garage sound. And I found out recently doing a little bit of research that it's one of their ones that they're playing like Dorian mode, which is like Julian's favorite, like when he first started with like their favorite way to play songs, like record them and stuff. That's probably why it has like that really strong like Strokes feeling sound of it. And it's just like Jared said, it's really fun to sing, especially in the second part. It's just like a raw feeling song where it's like, oh crap, this is amazing. Like
Yeah. This one I think sounds like one of the songs that sounds like the least the way that the rest of the album sounds. To me, this one is, for some reason, sounds like more polished. I don't know if you guys hear that too, but like to me, this one doesn't sound like as analog to it the way that some of the other ones did. Like I know like Julian still has that like distorted voice, but the way the music is mixed to me sounds a little bit
It's more
like
clear.
less that way. Yeah, I mean it still has that feeling. Like of course this whole album does, but to me this one sounds like and just the way that it's like the way it's composed, like the way that it's put together, it sounds like I think there's like two solos in this song if I heard that right. Like when I think about it, there's like two guitar solo sections like in this where you think it's gonna go to a guitar solo and then it's a little one and then it goes back into a like another chorus and then the guitar solo to end the song like I don't want to get too much into the instrument portions of it, but like that the way that this is made to me is like a little mini like Frankenstein monster on this, like because most of the songs in this album you know like where it's headed. This one is I feel like three different things sometimes. And I love just how nonchalant it is, but also how complex it is. Like I'll get into the instruments in a second, but I did want to read something. I don't know how true this is, but it's an article about the recording about this song. The creative process wasn't smooth running, however, and it fell victim to its own process, much to the lead singer Julian Casablancas' dismay. As someone known for his perfectionism, getting his vocals just right was something that haunted him. There was a song called, quote-unquote, Alone Together, on which we did 3 almost full productions with different methods and a different approach each time, said Gordon in 2002. Gordon was their producer on the album for this Gordon Raphael. One was to do it all live, one was to do it with the drum kit by itself, and one was to do it with the drum machine. In each case, we recorded all the tracks, built the production, and halfway through the vocals, Julian would say, "No, I hate the way this thing sounds." It certainly makes for an interesting new layer of listening when you revisit the track, knowing that Casablancas was never entirely happy with his vocals. But even so, its obvious rawness and authenticity were a big staple of the era's indie music. It's better this way. That's interesting because I thought his vocals were just fine, but I know how he feels like that because I personally hate everything that I do. So I'm one of those types of musicians as well, so I totally understand. But I genuinely don't like hear much issue with his vocals in this song. Do you guys?
No, not really. I mean, but I get it. You know, he does seem like that type that's like hypercritical of like even those like small details.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people that reach that level, like you almost have to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
But me personally, like, I love the way his voice sounds in this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like kind of broken, but that's what I'm saying. It sounds like that raw, like he's giving it his all.
Yeah.
And I kind of respect him for that.
Julian definitely still sounds the same, like on brand for the song. Yeah.
Is this the one that like they play a lot live?
They played it a good bit. The Strokes change their set lists all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say I heard this live in one of the shows I went to, but I might be wrong. But like it is one that they rotate every now and then, so they have played it. We can't talk about the instruments. I feel like I'm gonna be a broken record tonight, but you guys like heard the bass in this song, right? This thing, the bass was like crazy. Like do 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 do. Like he was like on fire. Like the whole song, I feel like in this one even more. Like what I said about the last song, the Arctic Monkeys one, like you could hear it and there were definitely bright spots, but I feel like this song is like led and like driven by the bass personally. Like that's all I could hear in this. Obviously not all I could hear, but like the thing that really, really stood out for this one, and of course I love the like the guitars in this. There was a part where you looked at me and I thought I looked at you. I can't remember. There's a part with the guitars I didn't hear until I heard this time. Where like it was either Albert or Nick just going like in the background in this one part that was like beautifully produced to where it was like kind of on the right side of the speaker. You could only hear it on the right side. Like I forget exactly where that was. I'd have to go back, but there's a lot of, we keep calling the song, at least I'm calling the song like a hidden gem. There's like a lot of like little hidden gems like within the musicianship of this song as well. That just makes it so much better. So like the bass for sure for me, but then also the guitars like shred on this song. Like I kind of want to go like learn this song like right after we're done with the podcast. Like I don't know why I didn't think about it before. Like they go crazy on this, and the drums even too. Like the like everything's like stands out to me on this one. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that was my fault. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh no, you're good.
You were killing it there.
Mm-hmm.
You done? You got anything else?
No, I'm done. No, go ahead. You're good.
I just wanted to say, maybe I don't know if it's because I'm hungry, but like this song reminds me of like a lasagna.
Hold on.
Has good layers to it. Like layers. You could pick
I
out
did
a
not
part
know
and
where
just
you were
listen to
gonna
that.
go.
Yeah.
With that.
Like whatever your favorite part of lasagna is, the meat, the shell, the pasta, the cheese.
We need a segment where we compare all the songs to just food.
I've been doing that a lot. I'm just like,
There we
compared to
go.
ice cream one time.
Yeah.
There you go.
But this has like good layers to it, like
I
an
want
onion.
some
Like
lasagna now.
Yeah, damn.
So
Why are we always thinking about Italian foods when we're doing this fucking
Ma, the
podcast?
meatloaf.
Mama the meatloaf.
But yeah, it just has very good layers to it. I agree. That bass is sick, man. That's
Yeah.
I'm glad like their bass player, especially in his first album, is like the one that sticks out a lot. Because a lot of bands, or there's a lot of songs, you have like that bass is kind of hidden, so you have to like, go look for it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of that's what stood out the most to me, but like everyone on this track, this is like a well-rounded track for me instrumentally. What do you think, Manny?
Well, what stands out to me the most is the, I'll say the lyrics. Because I hear everything that you're saying, you're spot on. But just to play devil's advocate, I love the lyrics of this song. I was actually when I first heard this song, which was a long time ago. I think I was probably like a little bit younger than you, Will, but I was with this girl, and she was like a big, like, she would like to go out all the time. Mm-hmm. And that's, what a lot of young people do. So I found myself, like, going out a lot more.
Yeah.
And constantly drinking with this person, right? Which I've never been, like, a big drinker or anything. But, so when I first heard that line, like, pull it up here.
So I didn't get to do an introduction for you. You're stealing Will's lyrics
Yeah, no,
section.
Yeah.
This is Manny's lyrics section.
Right. I'm taking this one, Will. But so the line where he's like, "You drink too much makes me drink just the same," that like resonated with me because I remember hearing that and thinking like, "Oh my god, like I'm literally drinking because you drink. And if you weren't drinking, like I really wouldn't be doing this." You know what I mean? So, so for me, it's like the lyrics like that. There's another one in there that I really like, where he's like, "The world is over and I don't care." And then he just goes into like that chorus part again. Mm-hmm. I love that line. I love his delivery of it is like really just like makes you feel like whoever he's talking about, he really cares.
Yeah.
For.
It sounds like kind of angry.
Yeah. It's a cool like his just delivery of it is very very cool. So that's what stands out for me.
Cool. So is it officially Will's lyrics section time?
Is it time for
Here you go. Will's lyrics section.
I'm glad that we have different lyrics that we like. I'm
Yeah.
glad that you brought some lyrics too. That's awesome. Some lyrics that spoke out to me. That I was like, ooh. He knows it's justified to kill to survive. He then in dollars makes more dead than alive. Oof, stuttered. Let's suck more blood. Let's work 3 hours a day. Those that had little like, I don't know what you call that, 3 little lines on this song kind of sticks out to me more. Especially when he's singing that part, 'cause like he's screaming it behind the microphone.
What is happening upstairs? Jesus Christ.
Hope it's lasagna.
Yeah, right? Making us lasagna. Sorry, guys. A lot of noises today. Sorry, continue. Go ahead.
Lost my piece.
lost
That's
your
just the
mind.
lyrics that spoke out to me for this song.
Yeah.
It sounds really raw. It sounds like let's suck more blood. Let's work 3 hours a day. It's like
Yeah, that's
kind of like
one's-
you're being drained.
That's
Yeah.
a great line though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what it feels like when you're working every damn
Yeah.
day. It's like, yeah.
You feel like a succubus. Well, you
Yeah.
feel like you're
Well,
being sucked. Of
Yeah,
your,
like
of
you're
your
being
blood.
used.
yeah, you're
like,
the
oh,
one
let's go
being
suck
sucked.
more blood
Yeah.
for this company that we work for.
Yeah. Yeah, they.
So that is a really cool like way to put it. I like that. It's different.
Yeah. The world is over and I won't quit because I'm on you and I know we have tried. Like, it's a lot of thoughts. Like, dream the size, place that there, come try if the time is right. Like, some of these lyrics that the Strokes write, that Julian writes, it's like I don't know how like this stuff comes in his head. Like I know that I'm not talented enough to write lyrics like this because it's just like so all over the place. But when you try to piece it together what it means and you finally figure it out, you're like, oh wait, that actually does make more sense than what you think it does at first glance. Like,
Right.
he subsides at the side of the place. He's got his own mind. He says that he doesn't know, but he wants what he has. He'd just pretend that he was always just glad I'd even notice when he'd walk with your hips. The world is over and I won't quit. Like, reading that just over, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. So like sometimes you gotta just like sit there and kind of analyze them, and it finally makes sense. Like you're like, oh shit, like, and that's like how it is with a lot of his lyrics on a lot of Stroke songs, which is what makes it like so much more interesting. I love when you have to kind of figure out what they're saying, because like I know when I write lyrics, like sometimes I just write shit that so many times I've written songs where I just write stuff down to me like makes sense, even though I know it doesn't make sense, but there's something about it that does, where I'm like, oh, it fits. It's not just because it rhymes, but it just fits together. And so when I hear stuff like that, it's like the same thing. Like, so I get like writing like that. So when I see songs like this, it makes me feel more confident that when I write things like that, it's not actually horse shit. That can actually probably mean something. It just means something to me, and then if someone else does, then that's cool. So you know, again, I mean, this song's only one, two, three, four, like four lines of lyrics for the most part. Like, there's not a lot of lyrics in this one, but it's overtaken by great vocals, great music, and pretty decent lyrics that you got to kind of figure out. So this one's I really enjoy this one, and I always have.
I feel like though, even it's not a lot. It's like a lot, not like a 10-minute song.
Yeah.
It's very powerful. It has a lot to say on its own.
It's one of the longer ones though too. It's 3:08. So like a lot of these songs like 2 minutes. So like three minutes for them on their earlier stuff was good. So time for the fan comment section. Unfit Fuzzball said my favorite Stroke song. Then a couple people said same, and then Nikolai's simple but filling bass lines is so good. So it looks like a lot of people are on the same page there. Preacher Man and Cuff said the closest thing to an underrated song on Is This It, which is kind of like what we said too, like Hidden Gem, was actually my favorite when I first got into the album. Love it. Mr. Bingle said, in my opinion, sounds better than the album. I remember listening to these versions on the song in junior, senior of high school. I was really inspired by Julian's outfit, so I started wearing suits to school thinking it was cool. 12 years later, I still think back to those times and smile. Yeah,
That's
like
awesome.
it's so funny. I love reading the comments after we give our opinions, because it's cool when people like say the same thing that we did, so it doesn't make us seem crazy sometimes. Because like guys, like when you comment this, like I don't read them like until tonight, like on purpose, because like I want to kind of like have it for this. Training Power 1048 said, quintessential Strokes, usually in my top 3 favorites, and once my number 1. Not the same anymore, has that spot now. God, New Abnormal, can't wait. Salty Abbreviations for amazing song. This version is a bit too slow for me personally. Yeah, they do perform this live like slower on that MTV live one that we're always talking about.
Yeah, they do.
It,
Yeah, you're
they
right.
perform it much
Yeah.
slower, which I don't like either. Electus put a gif of a brain shimmering, so I assume that means it's just like satisfying.
Yeah, rattled your brain a little bit.
Yep. The Plopster, love that name. Pretty good, but personally I'll put it on the weaker half of it. Wow. Okay. So like, as I go them down, there's only 2 people in all of these comments that didn't like it so far, which is crazy. Odia Mimas 16 said amazing song, off topic, but was this one ever on FIFA? It feels like a great FIFA song.
I'm an avid FIFA player. I don't remember this one being on there. I could be wrong, but they have had a lot of Stroke stuff in their soundtracks though, so it wouldn't shock me. But I don't remember this one being on there.
Yeah. Penguin Conscious said, when they played it in Paris at Rockin' Scene, oof, that drum was kicking our balls. The guitars were crisp, Julian's voice was as loud as it can be. It was glorious. My personal highlight of their show, when the intro drum kicked in, I was like, ooh, yeah, we're gonna eat good. Loved it so much. Love this band. Iofi Junkie said, since I was 12 and I first saw this video, thought Nick and Albert's feet looked just like little chicken feet. I think it's because they're wearing those jeans that are cut off like above the ankle, and they have like the low socks and like the shoes, so it just looks like little chicken legs. That's funny. The Orange just said, least favorite song on Is This It? Always has been. I still like it a lot. Great fucking guitar solo and breakdowns, cool riff, just kind of out of place. It's like the minor key when it started in a sense, and doesn't quite work the same in my opinion. Yeah, so that's just kind of breaking down like how the song is. A lot of people just kind of like how this is put together, kind of like what we said. So a lot of great comments there. Again, thank you, Strokes and Arctic Monkeys fan bases, for all your comments. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys. So let's give the rankings. So does anyone have a ranking off the top of their head that they can give this immediately?
No,
Yeah, I do.
think.
You do? Go ahead.
Yeah, I think, kind of it, just like everyone else said, that it really like resonates with them. I can easily give this just like a straight 4.0. It's a great song. The lyrics are great, sounds great. It is really like, if you've been listening to the Strokes all the time, like you probably know this song, but I could see this being one that like a lot of people maybe glossed over because it's not the catchiest of songs on this album. But it's definitely probably one of those songs that you go back and you listen to and it like hits you different a second time. And then the more that you listen to it, the more that you like it. So that's how it was for me anyway. So I'm going to give it a 4.0.
I'm gonna give this guy a 4.3.
Oh, okay.
The highest I gave a song on this album so far has been a 4, but this one's one of my favorite ones, like I said from the beginning, and listening to it again on a good speaker and all the things it had in it, 4.3 for me on this one. One of my favorites off of the album. I kind of had that already in my mind. I was pretty sure about that, so I'm going to stick with that and not talk myself out of it like I always try to do. 4.3 is like where I'm at on that. Will, what do you got?
Yeah, it's a little weird. Like I'm very like on the ball for you guys. I would say like 4.2, 4.3.
Yeah. You gotta pick one.
I'll say 4.2 just to give it an extra boost. It is a great song. If they didn't have that solo in there, it would be like a solid 4. But that solo is what saves it for me and gives it that extra little sizzle, spice.
So the solo's what put it over for you, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not my favorite off the album, but it's still a great song and it's still like definitely more than a 2, more than a 3. It's one that like I kind of recently discovered and I was like, oh crap, like since we've been diving into them, I'm like, oh, this is a good song. I didn't really discover it when I first listened to the Strokes. I didn't really put it on that much. It was probably one that I skipped.
Yeah, see, there you go.
But giving it a chance now, I like it more.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. I had a blast listening to that one. Personally, I love that song. So guys, I did a thing on Instagram, on our Instagram, which is Karma and Tranquility, everyone who hasn't seen. I am doing polls now, and I didn't get to do anything for this one just yet. It's going to be starting with the next one, but we're doing polls. We're on the Instagram. I'm posting, and in the post, I'm going to put a poll on which one of these songs you guys like better, the Strokes one or the Arctic Monkeys one, just to kind of get people to listen to both. That are from both fan bases, so you guys can get an idea on what we're listening to. It's going to be in the comments of the actual post at the bottom. I put one in for Someday, like last week's. Well, Someday is coming out this week that we're recording this one. So
Spoiler
yeah,
alert.
right. So anyway, it's actually going to be on time. Besides this one that we're recording right now. So Someday. And like this is gonna be ahead. It's like we'll have it ready for the next one as well. But go to the posts and comment in the comments and vote on them. But we're gonna be doing polls there. It's one of the new things that someone brought up an idea for us. Or actually, I think that one was mine, not a fan. I think that was mine. But we're gonna be doing polls from now on. So go to our Instagram. It's Karma and Tranquility. All the links are on there. We'll be able to find that.
Yeah, go to it. Don't even say please.
Go to it and follow it, please.
We're not asking.
Yeah. We have 4.9 thousand accounts reached, and only 111 of you have followed the Instagram.
Please follow us.
What's going
It
on?
helps.
This algorithm
The
stuff.
algorithm.
Please follow. Give it a like. It's not gonna kill you.
Takes 2 seconds.
Yeah, listen,
Please.
sorry. We're coming at y'all, but seriously, yeah, get it to Julian's attention, please. Anyway, and whoever we can get for the Arctic Monkeys, even though I feel like they're just no presence on the social media for those guys. But recent rotations, who's got something for that? I'd have to think about it for a second.
Recently?
Yeah.
I've been kind of everywhere. But one that's I've been kind of like diving into a new band, the Breeders. I don't know if you guys know them.
The Breeders?
Yeah, let me make sure that's what they're
I've
called.
not heard of them before.
Breeders.
What kind of genre is it?
I'll say like all like indie rock, kind of like garage rock.
Okay.
As far as like early 2000s, because I was listening to like early 2000 rock, and it came up with like what do you call that? like recommended or like on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, I like this. So I kind of went into more of, like the discography. Yeah, the Breeders. One song that like was on my likes was called Cannonball.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they just came in on a recommended for you. Nice. What about you? Anything?
Do you guys know the Front Bottoms?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You don't know the Front Bottoms?
I don't think so.
They're very indie.
They're very indie, very like quirky. They have a
They're
great
like the Flaming Lips.
yeah.
I know
They have
them.
a great Tiny Desk. If you guys like them or don't like them and you kind of want to get a feel for them, watch their Tiny Desk. It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have like a recommended song. Just listen.
Listen to the
Just
Front
listen
Bottoms.
to it. Yeah, just go listen to the Front Bottoms. Click on, I guess like my personal favorite is The Feud.
Mm-hmm.
That's my personal favorite one. But
Yeah.
they have so much good stuff. So if you're into like really quirky indie bands with like interesting lyrics and stuff like that, the Front Bottoms, check them out.
Yeah. I didn't have a lot this week. This week was really busy, but I just started listening to again one of my favorite artists of all time. His name is Rufus Wainwright. He's a singer-songwriter. And I'm not a huge singer-songwriter fan. A lot of singer-songwriters are cringe to me, to be honest. The ones that I have listened to, like Ben Folds and shit like that. But like this guy, I'm trying to think of like how I really came up. Like I found him like 4 or 5 years ago, and I like obsessed over him, and I still do. Like
In like a dangerous way?
No, never.
Like you said, you gotta ask that nowadays.
I know.
Wait, you
Like
don't
you
like
said,
Ben
you
Folds?
obsessed
I
over this.
no,
artist?
I like. You see, it's just like sometimes singer-songwriters and the way that they write things, like they're so predictable. Like it's like acoustic, and they're singing about trees in the winter and how they're skinny with no leaves. Like that's just that's how I think about it. But he's not.
It's very cliche.
Yeah, it's very cliche. But like he's very honest. He's very like candid. He's very raw. He's a gay man, so he writes a lot of songs about like when he was young, all kinds of shit that he went through. His voice, his vocals, he's one of the best vocals, like one of the best voices that I've ever heard. And he does a version of Hallelujah that people, me and Manny were talking about. Why am I blanking?
Jeff Buckley?
Jeff Buckley. Sorry, we were talking about his version of Hallelujah in the car the other week, and it's him, Rufus Wainwright, and Leonard Cohen. They're like the top 3 people that cover that song. Rufus like blows that song like out of the water. It's insane. But like he has a song called Want like WANT 1, and it's been on many charts and many lists of like one of the best like singer-songwriter albums of all time. If you're looking for someone who has an amazing voice, incredible piano skills, and like lyrics that are so interesting and raw, and just his like I told you guys before, like I'm a big melody guy. His melodies are what got me. Like he can write songs the way like Queen wrote songs. Like it's fucking insane.
Wow. Okay.
And I'm seeing him next month for the first time, and I can't fucking wait.
Where are you seeing him?
Keswick Theater. It's a very small like theater. Like he's a singer-songwriter. Like they don't sell out massive arenas. It's like a little like a theater that you would go see a show in, like a Broadway show.
Okay.
Because his show is all about like the nuance. Like you go there to listen to him like sing and play piano. Like it's not like always a full band.
Right.
But his songs are like full band. Like I'll just show you guys them. Listen, if you guys are looking for a fucking great singer-songwriter, Rufus Wainwright. I know most people know about him. He's been around for a long time. But he's fucking incredible, and I love him. Anyway, that's recommendations for this. That was they're 2 great songs again today. Mm-hmm. Two very good songs. Definitely 2 different like opinions on both the. Wait, Manny, what'd you rank this one? Still Take You Home?
What's
A
that?
4?
A 4 point. Yeah.
That's what you gave Still Take You Home?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you did give that. Okay, you did give that a 4.
Oof, Manny at the highest ranking. That makes sense
Yeah.
though, because like the album relates to you more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You gave it 3. You gave it a 3.9.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Someone else did.
No, Manny gave it a 3. Sorry,
think
Will
you
gave it
guys-
3.6. I gave it a 3.8.
Oh, so I did give it the highest.
You
Okay.
gave Alone Together a 4.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry guys, we our minds are like mush. We can't remember 15
I
minutes
can't. Yeah.
before.
I don't remember what.
Yeah,
I just said.
you can't either.
None of this is valid.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, that was Alone Together and Still Take You Home from the Stroke North and Monkeys debut album, track 6s. Thank you again for all of the engagement and listening and sharing and loving the bands like we do. Any parting words from the fellas over here before we get going?
Little fun fact. I learned Little Habibi means my love in Arabic, and that's probably why I like
There
it
you
so
go.
much.
Yeah. And what song is that from?
That was from... Dang, I can't think of the name. I know it's from The
That was
Woods.
from the Voids, the bonus episode.
It's
Yep.
not Leave It in My
Which-
Dreams.
which
It was
one?
not.
Which one and you ranked it pretty damn high. So.
It's the one that fucking Manny gave a red, a 1.5.
Give me like a hint. What does it start with?
Q.
Oh, okay, I'm curious.
Yeah, there you go. It's spelled
I know
all
it was like
weird.
some oddball song.
Yeah. Little baby. Like what he's doing is like auto-tune voice. Anyway, guys, another great episode is a beautiful Monday, and we will talk to everybody soon. Kisses all around. See you later.
Hey guys, it's Manny here. Thank you for listening to the episode. You can find us at Karma and Tranquility on Instagram and Reddit, and Karma Tranquil on Twitter. Our link tree is posted in our description, and bio's free to find everything we have to offer. We post a full episode every Wednesday and a bonus episode every Friday.